I had the fixed idea of doing design. He was completely against.
I'm not an industrialist, I'm a trader. I come from a trading family, and trading and manufacturing is quite different, you know. From a trader, I become a manufacturer, but the trader still inside myself.
Luckily, yes, otherwise.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's luck or not, but it's still there. So we have a chance to survive, even in hard times like this one. It's again a status of mind. It's again a fact of telling yourself what you are and what you want to be, and not to be wrapped into the surrounding fashions. You have to go against that. In all those 40 years, we always went against fashions. We always went to our own path, our own way.
Yeah, not only against fashion, against any rules. We have no rules. I mean, we do exactly and only what is passion for us and what we would like to experiment.
It means, in fact, to be free, not to have no prejudice, not to have mental schemes that you have to respect by force, etc., etc. It's a real status of mind, enormous freedom.
We don't pretend to be the big company, worldwide company. We are a very small company, very niche company. We are aware of that, and we love what we are, and we will keep going on this way.
Without being presumptuous, without being arrogant. I remember one day I had a showroom director, lady. I was outside grooming the marciapiede, and she came in and said, come in, why? There is a famous fashion designer who was passing on the other side of the city. He will see you approving. So
what?
What's the story? I mean, I went out and I broomed with more strength, you know, as a matter of fact. We've never been ashamed to do humble things.
So we just established a sister company called Baroque and Roll. And then, I mean, we invented the word, and then it became a used word. I see many times Baroque and Roll. First time we launched our collection called Baroque and Roll. It was the classical, very classical stuff, like almost Baroque, but with a kick and a modern material.
Intrinsically, it was a betrayal of the classic, as a matter of fact, you know. It was going against it at the same time. You start from a figuration which might be classical, but then you betray it with material, you betray it with design, you betray it with the color, etc., etc. This is, again, a sign of extreme freedom, sense of freedom.
Michael Graves and Zaha, hadid, Daniel Libeskind, or David Adjaye, or Mayan Song. I mean, we have no limit. I mean, we just go to the person we appreciate in that moment. We appreciate his work, his mind, his concept, and we do experimentation together.
Basically, if you look at our collection, if you can call it collection, this is so varied. It's like a language. I'm a linguist. I'm a philologist by formation. I don't have a degree in trade and administration and business. No. I'm a philologist. These are different languages of design which are spoken. So you have a multitude of languages. This is like a Tower of Babel, if you want, in a way. You have so many languages. You have Charles Jenks with postmodernism. You have Katsuo Shinohara, perfect Japanese.
Jean Nouvel, Dominique Perrault. I mean, Jacob McFarlane. Just name them. I mean, we've been working with almost all of them.
I think we have also to thank these people who have believed in us, because it's not common to believe in two young guys like we were, you know, having nothing behind.
2 centuries ago.
40 years ago. Okay, but I'm still the same.
In 1984, when we started the production and the showroom, we called Michael Graves. He was the person really in vogue, because he launched together with Charles Jenks, the postmodernism movement. So they were really the real representative of that movement. So we called them and we started with the collection of micrograves. And everybody was looking at us like, what are they doing? What do they think they are doing?
I remember a known manufacturer that used to have a showroom in Monte Napoleone. I can't say the name for decency, but he came to our opening and he said...
He didn't know that we were us. He was talking nearby us.
And he said, in 6 months, they would shut down.
In 6 mesi
can't sell this kind of thing.
abbassano le saracinas.
And unfortunately, he closed the showroom in Monte Napoleone. We didn't close it. Postmodernism was not known over here. And in addition to that, the Italians thought they had the monopoly of design. They were only design, it was the Italian one. And we, as an Italian company, calling 2 foreigners to come here and do furniture and be in the front line, as we were in the front line. Charles Jenks was the philosopher of postmodernism, and Michael Graves was the prima donna in the rest of the world. They came and worked with us as all the other architects who joined the group later on with great enthusiasm. You know, I remember when we met Zaha for the first time, and it was an excellent meeting because it was like a shock. We are in Athens, and we are sitting in a cafe, and she's sitting opposite to us, and she greets us. A few weeks later, we are in London, and we went to see her, and it was love at first sight. Really, love and fight, as a matter of fact.
She said, if it happened, you are in London, come and see me. So, with pleasure. So after 3-4 weeks, we called her, we told her, we are coming to London. Did you prepare anything for us by chance? Yes, come on and we'll see. So we went to her flat and we sat on the floor and she opened all sketches. Yeah. So we were really amazed. I mean, it was a huge production and all of them unfeasible because, I mean, of the difficulty of her concept. So we said, okay, let's try with the silver collection, a set of tea and coffee collection. And that was it. It was the first piece she did in 2000, before 1998 or something. And since we never stopped.
We never stopped. Once we come back from Ascot, I don't remember, it was Ascot, yeah. And we stopped with our driver, etc., in a fast food. And we brought food, like Middle Eastern food, to the car, and we were eating like kids.
It was dropping from here, the oil.
From here and there. But she was fantastic. I used to spend my summer vacation with her in Istanbul, because there we didn't feel we are bastards. But when I say bastards, I say in a good sense of the word, because we could, me and her had different origins, you know, very different origins, but mixed, so with many nationalities, the same family. And in Istanbul, we felt that we were normal. Everybody was mixed, you know. So we loved it, and we used to spend there summer every year. Wonderful memories. I tell you, frankly speaking, sometimes I think of it, I mean, I get a tear.
Oswald Matthias Ungers came into our stand, our booth in Köln, Colonia, and we used to participate there for 5-6 years consecutively in the beginning of our career. He came to our booth and he saw a chair of...
he saw that chest of drawers and the chair by Charles Jenks.
Who's the chief here?
Who's in charge?
Who's in charge?
Who's in charge here? You know.
So they called Paolo, and Paolo came and said, "I'm in charge."
If you could make out of this design, this fantastic craftsmanship, you should come and visit me. And he gave me his card.
It was Oswald
Matthias Ungers. Next day, I went to visit. It was in Cologne. He invited me to his library. He had a beautiful square library because it's Art Quadrat. In German, you call it Art Quadrat. And it was the beginning of a very good relation, which became kind of friendship. Not shown out as a friendship in normal terms of the world, but a good acquaintance. He designed beautiful things. There is an armchair over there, which is very good. One of the next years visiting him invited me to his house in the countryside. He has a house in the countryside in Trier. Trier is a Treviri. Treviri used to be a Roman colony. That's why it's called Treviri, Trimer. He felt very much belonging to that area. So he took me to his country house, and while I visited the undergrounds. In the undergrounds, he was building with a number of artisans. He was building a replica of the Parthenon in Athens.
Maquette, as a model.
Miniature, like 5 meter long, etc. But perfectly equal. He loved it. He had a great respect for ancient architecture. We were one day on the terrace overlooking the beautiful green grass in front of the house. And at the center of this meadow, I see a white square, like a fence, in white square. I looked at that. He was looking at me. I was looking at the fence, and he smiled. He said, "Why do you smile? What have you understood?" You know, he used to nickname me with a nickname that I'm not going to say here, but he used to nickname me with a real name, my little. He says, "What have you understood?" He said, "I have understood what you want to do out of that. And what do you think I want to do out of that? It's the place where you want to be buried." He was one of the most honest men I have met in my career. We did with him beautiful projects. Among them, the American embassy in Washington, in Seoul.
The German embassy in Washington.
German embassy in America.
The library.
Enormous project. And normally, some designer wants to add a little bit of profit. When I asked him, "Do you want me to include, because it's a project," and you say, "No, I have my royalties. There is nothing that I have to do."
I have my cachet. I'm paid for that.
A great lesson of honesty, to be honest with you, really.
No, of dignity. I mean, he wanted to do it just for the pleasure of making his furniture made, but not for
when I visited
commercial.
This beautiful library, bibliothèque, I said, "Yes, we can work together, but I have one question to ask you, Mr. Lucas." And he says, "Please ask it, yes. Where were you before the Holocaust?" He looked at me, serious, into my face. He said, "I abandoned this country. I didn't want to have anything to do with those people. So I stood up, I gave my hand, and I said, we can work together."
Jean Nouvel, we loved his work. It was just after he made the Institut du Monde Arabe in Paris. So we contacted him. Somebody was the trade union, and we asked if we can do something together. At that time, 1990, I guess, something like that, 1991. He came out with 2 pieces. The table, very nice stainless steel table, transformable. It can be a dining table or a low table with dismantable legs. And the chair, the armchair, called Milana, as homage to Miss van der Rohe Barcelona chair. And it was really a beast to be done. It's a twisted stainless steel, which is so difficult.
It's unbelievable to do it with the precision that we could make it.
So we had to build some mold to force because the stainless steel, when you twist it, it come out back, go back. If it's not really well heated and the tension should be studied. I mean, it was really a big deal. But we made it, and he approved it. I mean, then it was presented, and it was really it became a classical, which we love.
We sensed a change already 3-4 years ago. We sensed it became more evident through the pandemic story that we all suffered of. And we realized that things were not going to, probably were not going to be always in the same path. They would have changed it. And in order to change, you have to change skin. You cannot change, that's how I change from one day to the other. You have to change skin. You have to get into a new dimension. You have to get into a new status of mind, which is very important. Mind, it's always the most important part, you know, is not so much the technical capacity of doing something. Well, of course, this is a great support, but your status of mind is the most important thing. Very good, very secure, very well organized. It's been a pleasure. We will present this year a new table by him, which is the continuation of that chair, that yellow chair that you see over there, the chair.
The gu, which means bone in Chinese. So it's this kind of bony, very sinuous, very sexy feeling line. So the table is really, today we saw the first piece put together. It's really a masterpiece. So difficult to be made because it's all in solid wood. Can you imagine? So you will see it in September, hopefully.
It's a wonderful piece. It's the continuation of that project, which is Gu chair. By the time the Centre Pompidou just acquired one of his chairs for the permanent collection, the recognition comes worldwide. You know, he's now doing a lot of projects. A very good architect, very good studio, very well organized. They have an headquarters in Milan, in Rome now. They're doing a lot of projects in Rome. They have a very good team. They're responsible in Italy. Andrea D'Antras is a fantastic person. He has a great sense of aesthetics and very good manner, which is not common with architects, you know, especially when they're famous.